Okay.
Okay, we
Hello.
are on.
We're on. It is 7:02. We'll call the meeting to order. Recognize that we have a quorum. Mayor Steve Parker is running a little bit late, and he'll be showing up shortly. In the meantime, we do have Committeeman Stevenson, Committeeman Hickey, Committeewoman Santucci, and 4 out of 5 is quorum. Judy, can we have the Open Public Meetings Act
Yes, sir.
statement?
Adequate notice of this meeting of the Township Committee was sent to the Courier News in Somerville and to the Burnsville News in Whippany. Also to subscribers and posted here at the Municipal Building as of January 8th, 2018.
Great. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we've got a relatively short agenda this evening, so let's get to it. Let's see. First item on is the approval of minutes. We have 2 minutes from May 21st, regular meeting and the executive session. Are there any comments to the minutes?
I just noticed one typo, ordinance 2018-009, improvements just misspelled. I figure if I didn't catch it, Ms. Santucci would.
That is on
Page,
009.
009, yes, correct, second before the last page, right?
Oh, got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't think I read them.
So with that change, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda, permits and raffles. There are none. No permits and raffles tonight. Public comments twice each night. We open the mic right up here for public comments for anyone who is interested to make any comments they have. Seeing none, we will move on. Monthly report discussion by subcommittee chairs. We will start to the far right with Committeeman Stevenson.
Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. I don't have any reports right now.
Excellent.
Mr. Jacobs, ditto. I do not have anything new to report.
Mr. Jacobs, third time's the charm. I do not have an update for this evening.
And I too have nothing to update. We will address some of the issues a little bit later on, but no subcommittee meetings for me as well. So moving once again right along to administrator's report.
Few minor items. Staff has started beginning today our summer hours, where staff we work 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 8 to 12 on Friday. This includes the court, I believe your staff at the police department as well.
Staff of one, yeah.
Yes, and the administration building. So this started today. We actually get quite a bit of business after 4 o'clock. A lot of people coming in after work, so it's helpful to a certain level. And just a reminder, tomorrow is the primary election. Polls open at 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. And come out and vote. That's all I have.
Okay, great. Moving along, introduction of ordinances. There are no ordinances we are introducing tonight. Public hearing of ordinances. We have four ordinances. And the first one, ordinance number 2018-006, an ordinance authorizing the funding of the Capital Road Management Plan. This ordinance will fund the road management plan, including but not limited to the reconstruction, repair, and mitigation of roads, drainage, and stormwater systems on various roads in Bedminster Township in an amount not to exceed $300,000. Can we have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So, questions, comments regarding the ordinance? John, you just want to quickly walk us through?
So this ordinance is for the pavement management plan. We are keeping some of those funds aside so that when we do some of the larger projects with Paul Ferraro's office, we'll set out in case if the bids come in more than what we have funding for, we can support that with that fund. And we're also looking at a couple roads to mill and overlay.
So this is not going, right now, this ordinance is not specifically allocated to any specific project. This is just funding it into the management plan. Once again, I think Doug and Collins, and we've worked before, remember you guys were talking about make sure that we have the money, that we fund it prospectively so that we don't look back going, geez, we should have done this, we need to come up with a new budget plan. And if there's no other comments, a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Now we need someone to make a motion to adopt or not adopt the ordinance.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
I'll second.
Roll call vote. Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Hickey?
Aye.
Ms. Santucci?
Aye.
Acting Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
Second ordinance is ordinance 2018-007, ordinance authorizing the purchase of motor vehicles and heavy equipment for the Public Works Department. This ordinance will fund the purchase of motor vehicles and heavy equipment for the Public Works Department as part of the regular vehicle replacement program at a total amount not to exceed $75,000.
Move to open.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And John?
Just a synopsis on this one. This is my normal capital improvement plan that I purchase vehicles and equipment out of the Public Works Department. We did do a little bit of a change this year only because we had a problem with the loader, and the subsequent ordinance, the next ordinance you're going to do is to pay for that. So we made whole the $75,000 that I normally have moving forward. So again, there's not any specific item that we're going to purchase at this point in time.
So John, just curious, so we've already paid for the loader?
We have not.
We have not paid for
We
the
have
loader.
not paid. So currently, the next ordinance we'll get into,
Okay.
I'll explain that a little bit more.
Okay. Any other comments, questions?
Move to, what, no, you have to close?
Move to close?
Move to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And someone make a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call vote. Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Hickey?
Aye.
Ms. Santucci?
Aye.
Acting Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
Next ordinance is ordinance 2018-008. An ordinance authorizing the purchase of motor vehicles and heavy equipment for the Public Works Department. This ordinance will fund the purchase of heavy equipment for the Public Works Department as part of the regular vehicle replacement program at a total amount not to exceed $270,000.
Move to open.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
So here we are.
Here we go. Okay.
This is somewhat complicated, but not. During our budget discussions, we kind of approved a paver replacement for the Public Works Department in the neighborhood of about $118,000. That was in the capital improvement plan for 2018. Subsequent to the passing of the budget, we had a problem with my current loader, which is 18 years of age. I had a transmission issue. It was going to cost us between $20,000 to $30,000 to fix. We felt it was probably more cost effective with the age of the unit to go out and look for a new machine. And the new machine under the Middlesex County Co-op that we currently are part of, we got a cost of $225,000 or so. With the co-op pricing that we currently are in, it came in at $140,000. So it seemed to be the best of both worlds. Also, what we did is we looked at where we had extra money, and Judy had extra money in old ordinances, which we canceled old ordinances out, and we refunded this ordinance with those old ordinances. We consolidated some of the other programs that we did. Pavement management plan, we took a little bit of money out of to make all this work. So this is the genesis of the loader right now, and the paver, which we have not purchased yet. The loader, we did do and got a monthly rental fee on, which will go towards the purchase of that, which then lowers that price even a little bit more. So we made it work at this point.
So there's no additional monies in the budget for this project?
Right.
There are old monies from old projects from previous years that was not used completely, that was canceled into this ordinance.
Didn't affect the current budget at all.
So the vehicle replacement plan is still being funded prospectively for,
Correct.
we still have that pot of money for
Correct.
additional vehicles as
Which
they
was the
come up.
last
and-
ordinance,
the plan.
which was last ordinance you just,
I mean, it's the benefit of being fiscally responsible and, watching your pennies. So good job by you, and enables us to have the money to do
I
that.
have to say, it was John's idea, and it worked. So, this man right here is always watching his pennies, so.
Well done.
Agreed. No other comments? Motion to close?
Move to close?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Move to adopt 2018-008.
I'll second.
Okay, and this will be a roll call vote. Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Hickey?
Aye.
Ms. Santucci?
Aye.
Acting Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
Next ordinance is ordinance number 2018-009, an ordinance authorizing the funding of the capital facility improvement plan. This ordinance will fund the facility improvement plan in Bedminster Township in an amount not to exceed $25,000. We have a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Again, all in favor?
again, this is just a money going forward for 2018 for any facility improvements that we currently need to have. As of right now, we have none on the perspective at this point, so, and it's just holding money aside.
So John, on the work that we did here with the court,
Correct.
would that be a type of project that you'd look to fund us with or no?
It could have been, but the court had a capital improvement fund that we had between the three municipalities, so we did have a funding source to offset that.
But is that the type of project that we're talking about, something that has to be done with a facility in town?
Correct.
Needs something
So
needs
if we're
a
to
repair.
replace carpet here, if we needed to, or if we needed to replace something, we have the money for that.
The court maintains a $10,000 ordinance that's funded through by PPAC, Gladstone, Burnsville, and Bedminster, and that's maintained to do any improvements for the court. So that handles those improvements.
Gotcha.
And is there anything coming up in just your expectation, routine maintenance?
As of right now, no. I mean, the only thing that I can see that's on the horizon is the units that run this building in the attic space. They are about 14 years of age, and they're probably going to need to be replaced as they start to fail. And I actually have one or two that are failing now, and we need to start looking at that. So it's not a cheap proposition at this point in time.
And John, that covers this building. Does it also cover the police department
It does.
building as well?
So, yeah, this capital improvement plan does do anything we have in the facility here,
Okay.
off-site, any place, anything we have. in the
Any
facility.
building we own.
Once again, this is consistent with our budget, so this is no deviation. So, no other comments? We have a motion to close.
So moved?
Second?
All in favor?
Can we have a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt ordinance 2018-009.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Hickey?
Aye.
Ms. Santucci?
Aye.
Acting Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
Consent agenda. I don't believe there's anything on the consent agenda. Resolutions. We have no resolutions tonight, but we do have the bill list. So can we please have a motion to approve the bill list?
I'll make that motion to
pending
approve the
review
bill
of
list.
the individual items.
I'll make that motion pending review of the individual items.
I'll second.
Again, roll call vote, Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Mr. Hickey?
Aye.
Ms. Santucci?
Aye.
Acting Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
Discussion items. Anything that committee wants to discuss that is not coming up, either under new business or old business?
Well, yeah. Don't we want to talk about our farmer's market? Is that on the list?
Let's
Market.
do that.
Sure, let's do farmer's market.
I didn't get my pickles.
Oh, you really,
No,
Are you
my
kidding
family
me?
stole them. I walked out of there with them, I didn't get it. No, it was, we were there, we were all there. Amazed. That was a
It was a
fantastic
beautiful day.
event. Mother Nature held off for us, but I think the feedback, I know the feedback that I got was beyond anybody's imagination. I think that people were just across the board very, very pleased and impressed, and it was fantastic. I do think that we should think about a township fruit of the strawberry, because apparently they're very popular in town. They had to reload like, what, 4 times, 3 times? Tremendous. I mean, look, that's probably going to be, you know, a high turnout. It's the first one, but I think it was so good that we're going to see repeat.
I think you're right.
business, and I think that all of you who were involved, whether from environmental, Renee,
It was amazing.
Larry, Robin Ray, Judy, John, just outstanding.
It
Outstanding.
was fun. It was a great, you know,
It was great.
Saturday morning. We saw like 35, 40 people who I've been dying to kind of get together with and see, but you know, there's no time by the time you know, come home at the end of the evening or the weekend. So it was a great place to kind of meet up and say, hey, how have you been? Everybody's been hibernating for the winter. And I think
social
every
event.
single person
absolutely.
came out,
It was great.
Yeah.
and
I
every
ate
dog
vegetables and fruit. I'm saying.
In Bedminster was there.
in Bedminster was there. It was a place to be.
Yep.
So it was just, and stress-free, really. I mean,
It was amazing, because
maybe not for.
sort of heading into that,
Judy's like, I don't think so.
heading into that night and that morning, Judy knows this and Renee knows this as well. You know, we're sitting there going, we've put months and months and months of preparation into the event. You have no idea.
Right.
You have no idea whether it flops, no one comes out, the vendors walk away going, man, Bedminster, they don't know what they're doing. No one came out. What a waste of our effort. We're not coming back. And then, you know, 8:30 and people are, can we buy yet? Can we come in? No, you gotta wait. And we're just doing final inspections. And then by 9:30, when they ran out of strawberries the first time. And then around 10:15, when Hoboken Market or Hoboken Farms sold out of bread. They were out of bread. I think the
Riverbend
Stevenson
Farms
family
sold
may
out
have
of
cleared them
eggs,
out of
right?
some bread.
Riverbend sold out of eggs.
Riverbend restocked eggs twice.
Eggs.
We ran out of bags very
That was
early.
200, we had 200 bags, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Gone by like 10 o'clock.
yeah, and
amazing.
These are good problems to have.
these are good problems to have. The parking situation. Someone said, "Well, you know, parking's really tough." I'm like, "That's great. That's a great sign." Kevin, once again, John, I know I told you this before, and I put it on Facebook, but Kevin Murray did an excellent job. Maintained his cool when people were backing up and trying to come in through, take parking spots that they didn't fit in, and it was just well done. We had cars parked all the way down to JBH. That's a lot of cars. And the traffic flow was steady, and he did a great job. So please send once again our
He
regards
did, he was a
to
great
Kevin.
ambassador of Bedminster.
Absolutely,
because,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think this is going to start, you know, word of mouth too. It's going to spread, it's going to expand. I think it was a
Yeah, if everybody
100%
tells one
success.
person.
Right. And just something, just one little comment. I know I said this frankly to all of you here and to Renee and Judy. When we started this, when we first started the idea of the market, it was to promote Bedminster agricultural properties and Bedminster agricultural businesses. And the next step out from Bedminster would be our surrounding local towns. The produce vendors, the agricultural producers that were there. Flipside Farm, Bedminster. Three Meadows Farm, Bedminster. Riverbend Farm, Peapack. Allsteeds, Chester. Brownleaves Farm, Bedminster. Middlebrook Farm, Bedminster. The Stoneleigh Lavender, Branchburg. Our agriculture producers could not have been more than 8 miles in a radius from where we were, and certainly maybe even less than 5 miles from Bedminster borders. So that is, certainly was notable to me. I know that Three Meadows wants to expand their participation. And just as you talk about buying local and supporting the agricultural preserved lands, the last strawberry run from Allstate's. The
Which
woman
were
was-
delicious, by the way.
She was driving up to Allstate's. They didn't have flats ready for her
They
at the stand. She called ahead and said, "We're out in the field. We have flats and baskets here." She drove into the field, picked up berries from the field, and drove them back to the market.
And they were gone.
And then they
Yeah.
were gone. So it's just, look, if we're sitting there, we stayed on course, we didn't expand the mission too much, focus on what we were looking to do, and it worked. And now we can start trying to fill in the pieces. We do have comments. We did a review of the vendors as they were leaving. Renee was doing that, Judy was doing that, I was doing that, Don McNabb was doing that, and we're going to coalesce all those comments, and we have a meeting Wednesday evening. And if you guys have any comments, please send them to any of us. Well, Stacy will be there as well for further discussion, and we'll make improvements as necessary.
Great job.
Job well done, absolutely.
New business. Now, we might want to combine the DOT issues with the engine braking issues, since they both involve DOT and Meredith Hammond. Judy, you just want to start with the interchange improvements?
So you all have a copy of an email from Meredith Hammond, who is our communication liaison with the DOT. We work with her all the time for all the different projects and meetings we have with DOT. We had reached out to her about the engine braking question, and we had reached out to her about, and then the mayor jumped on and even added the 22A exit off of 287 and the status of that project. It's still pending. So Meredith said, I'll try and put a meeting together for you. So she came up with some dates. The drawback, if you want to call it a drawback, is they're inviting anyone who's interested to come to their offices in Trenton as opposed to them coming here. And she gave a couple dates. So I'm assuming both topics can be discussed, so.
Right, she said she was going to look into the update on the interchange improvements, but they would have folks certainly available for us on those 3 dates, which were June 12th, June 14th, June 15th, to discuss engine braking. So I presume we can't have 3 or more.
Correct.
Unless we were to notice.
Unless it was to be noticed as a meeting, correct.
Which I could do.
So I guess the first question is, who's interested in attending the meeting with DOT on the engine braking issue? And then we can follow up with Meredith as to the available dates, whoever wants to attend.
I'd be interested.
I'll attend.
Okay, the two of you?
Sure.
You're good?
Depending on the date.
Well, the dates that she laid out, at least she offered now, are at 11 o'clock for June 12th, 14th, or 15th.
Can I get back to you?
I would need to notice the meeting, probably my.
Well, I think right now, I think it'll just be,
Just two.
it'll just be
Just two?
Doug and Colin.
Oh, all right, then we wouldn't have to notice it.
Yeah, I'm fine not
Yeah, so
going.
I just need to get back to Meredith as to what date's gonna work.
Okay, yeah, let me just look at my schedule tomorrow and I'll get with you.
Okay.
And then also, I think if you could reach out to the Elliots,
Mm-hmm.
who
Yep.
have done some research into this issue, and they have some thoughts about which towns have enacted ordinances and why they adopted those. John, I know that John Bellardo gave us some research on, I guess he found at least 4 towns that had also adopted some of those ordinances regarding truck
Engine
braking.
braking.
So if you can just get those over to Colin and Doug,
Mm-hmm.
and, if you guys can get Tom or Tiffany
We'll
or
coordinate
whoever
with
else is interested
Right.
to go down with you, please do so.
Yep,
Oh,
Like to go?
Renee,
Great.
you're interested?
Yeah.
please.
All right, great.
That'd be perfect.
So that takes care of interchange and engine braking. And if I talk really slowly, I can go back to my regular seat.
So everyone, can you let me know by tomorrow?
Yes.
Sometime?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just pick a date and I'll.
Any of those are okay for you? Okay.
Hold it all the
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just let me know, and then I'll get back with Meredith as to what's going to work.
Okay.
It's
pretty good there that way.
Exactly where. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you sash.
Yeah,
Yeah, in this back.
Remember the public? Yeah.
Good, Mayor. So, where we are on the agenda right now is... You took care of that, you took care of that.
Oh, my goodness. We're almost done.
Almost done. Good timing.
Amazing.
Tight meeting.
Ran better with me not here. You can put that on the record. That's good. So are we up to New Jersey American Water?
Yes.
What is the latest on that? We talked to Mr. Mosca?
So you have a letter that came from New Jersey American Water that was sent to all New Jersey American Water customers in Bedminster. I received mine last Friday evening. I gave you all a copy. Those of you that are customers of New Jersey American Water should have received one as well. I believe Mr. Jacobs did have a conversation with Mr. Mosca, right?
Yes. So I spoke with Bill on these issues. I spoke to him last week and actually offered him to, if he wanted to come here and do a little presentation. He was running a little tight, but he didn't see a need to. He was satisfied that the corrective letter that went out was appropriate and adequately explained the position, that there is no increase of sewer rates in Bedminster, and there will continue to be no sewer increase rates, or no increase of sewer rates in Bedminster for at least another 2 years.
Great.
There may be, they certainly, New Jersey American is moving ahead, at least trying to implement a water increase. That water increase is being vigorously opposed by New Jersey Ratepayers Council. And Bill and I talked about whether it made sense to have the town intervene. Bill's thought that right now that Ratepayer Council, Stephanie Brand, is doing a very good job in contesting the rate increase, and saw no reason for the town to intervene and spend additional funds on lawyers promoting, and rather he will just continue to touch base on where that matter stands. And that was his presentation. So I think New Jersey American has calmed folks down that no, their sewer rates are still remaining flat where they were 3 years ago when we negotiated with EDC.
It's excellent.
All right. B&B? Anything new?
No.
All right.
The current matter is still pending.
Yep, still winding its way through municipal court.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, that brings us, I guess, to the second round of public comments. Is there a member of the public that wishes to be heard? Oh, we have somebody.
Is that the only public?
Hi, Renee Moreski, 20 Crestmont Road. I just want to say, as a member of the public, that the farmer's market was awesome. You guys did a great job. The weather held out, it was perfect. We need new bags, we need a doggy watering station, but other than that, these guys did an amazing job. All you guys did such a good job. The vendors were perfect, and we had extra guys coming over to talk to us that were interested, so I think that was a good sign. And just thank you again for all your hard work.
Thanks
Well,
for all
thank you,
your
Renee.
hard work, Renee.
I
I'm the public right now.
I will piggyback on that and I obviously, I just walked in, so I missed the first part of the meeting. If it's already been talked about, but what the heck, I'll say it again anyway if it's not already been said. Yes, the farmer's market was an incredible success. Several fold beyond, I think, what we expected as the high end. DPW guys did a great job helping out, which we're glad we had them there. But everybody on staff, the Renee and the Environmental Commission folks came out and helped out. The Ag Advisory folks that came out. Larry, Stacy, we had the police that came out to help out. It was a tremendous success. And although I wasn't there at the very beginning, I was over at the Cancer Support Community, which was also a wonderful event this weekend. Yeah, I've heard, I was just at a school event, and I had people telling me, wow, what a great event over at the farmer's market. Now we just got to keep it going. And a lot of people came out, they wanted to buy things, but a lot of things got sold out quick. But a lot of other people came out and just enjoyed it as a social event. They kind of thought it was kind of a mini fall fest. Well, we can't do a mini fall fest every week, but by God, the farmer's market can be certainly done every week. And so I just want to thank everybody involved and keep up the good work and keep it going.
Thank you.
And I will, since we're going to go from public comments to township committee comments, and since I've been here late, I will also say, since I didn't get a report in, I was at the Cancer Support Community event Saturday. Again, just a fantastic success. Those people were always appreciative of what goes on in Bedminster. Talked a little bit with them about what we saw from some of our local pharmaceutical companies, because it's interesting to see the way they work. Because when we had a ribbon cutting last fall down the street here, when you go in, the corporate culture is such that, at least in this company, they have these big photographs on the wall of people. And I said, well, what are these people? What are they all about? And he said, these are people that are patients for the product that's on this floor that the people work on. And it's a reminder that they're making a certain pharmaceutical for this patient. And then that company actually brings folks in on a monthly or quarterly basis, patients that see. Well, that's exactly kind of what the care and feeding of these patients is, kind of what Cancer Support Community is all about. And I did give a plug for the farmers market about an hour before the farmers market happened, and we saw some orange and t-shirts out from the Cancer Support Community. They couldn't have been more excited about it, because a component of what they do in the Cancer Support Community, they have a kitchen, and they talk about healthy eating to help the nutritional aspect of the cancer support. And they said, boy, farmers market, fresh produce, that would be great. So it was interesting. They also have, this year they have a lot more corporate sponsors and volunteers. So there are folks from Merck and other companies around the area that we're helping out. So hopefully we get a little more synergy with that. And I reminded them that there's other folks that they might want to call on. So great job. I am late tonight because just down the road was the 8th grade awards ceremony. I'm not going to read all the awards, but a fantastic job by the 8th graders. Lots of names we know, and all the kids did a great job. And it was yet another great event. I was lucky enough to give out 2 awards from the rec department, and the Ann O'Brien Award and Citizenship Award, which were great. And there's the 4 awards by Mayor Metelsky that he gives out, which is kind of a special thing if you don't know about it. And the PBA Awards, which was also very well received. So a great night all around. That's why I'm here late. So I'm going to begin and end with, that's my township committee comments. So I'll go around the room.
I can't match that. I've got nothing further to say.
Mayor, same here, thank you.
Mayor, just want to, I've said it before, but your Memorial Day remarks were, once again, poignant, deep, and a reminder of what Memorial Day is. Thank you.
Stacy?
I have no further comments, Mayor.
All right. Looks like I'm the one that's prolonged this from being a short meeting. We do have an executive session tonight. I don't believe there's anything to come out after the executive session, so there will be no further business after that. Can I get a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Wait, no personnel matter? All right.
Microphones are back on.
All right, it is 9:43, and we are out of executive session. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bill it. So good to see you.
You too.
Thanks.
Sorry, it's always on.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
No, but you really, you bring a lot to the table.
Thank you, I appreciate
We
that.
really appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
Judy, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Look out for us.
Oh, for the,
You know?
yep, yeah. You can just email me something, tell me what works.
Early for voting?
I am on the other.
I will be here at 5 AM.
Oh, my.
Right.
I won't be.
Litigation.
Yeah, I will.
Also.
Thank you.
It's just.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight.
Bernie Kane made me at the late showing.
Because,
Right?
You have.
Right.